Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 26th, Eubank Jr versus Benn. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Jolie here for Fight Hub TV, powered by Undisputed Play, now on PlayStation 5 and Xbox. Here with Eddie Hearn. Busy morning, Eddie?
Just slightly, yeah. It's been fun. You know, there's always something going on. And obviously this week, more than most. The drama of, obviously, the build-up, but also the weigh-in today, which was probably one of the most dramatic weigh-ins I've ever been a part of. You know? And I've been a part of a few thousand weigh-ins.
There's been so many storylines building up to this fight with the dads, with the history of the past 2 years, and now the weight as well. Just talk us through what happened in your world this morning.
Chris Eubank missed championship weight. I mean, he's the IBO middleweight champion of the world. His last 5 fights have been at £160. He didn't make it. It's unprofessional. But it happens. I mean, like, I've had a lot of fighters miss weight over the years, and so obviously it was a very costly mistake for him, and it was close, but he turned up late. You know, during that period where he had a bit of time, he didn't really, I mean, in my opinion, get the right advice as to you know, they kind of messed around on his phone a little bit, and like, whereas really, probably a little bit of activity would have actually made him make weight. But, you know, I know he wants to spin the narrative now on social media about, you got to understand, and you've been around the game, I know you're a young man, but you know, fighters do this every week to make weight. It's very difficult for fighters to make weight. You've got ex-fighters over there, but you're showing us what you did to miss weight. You're not showing us what you did to make weight. So in that respect, it's, you know, put it this way. If this fight was a big fight at 147 and Conor Benn missed weight, you'd all ridicule him. Do you know what I mean? But Eubank did it, and it was very hard for him. Come on, Eddie, it's very hard for him. It's fucking hard for everybody. That's the game. But unfortunately, he missed weight, and then, you know, it doesn't affect the fight, really. But obviously, Conor Benn is significantly wealthier, and on we go.
Yeah, I heard it was quite strange. I heard that he had about 15 minutes at one point to make the weight, and then, like you said there, he was doing something for 10 minutes and then ran for the last 5. It's odd.
First of all, he was an hour late for the weigh, which ruined him, really, because he would have had that time to get that half an ounce off. I mean, but then when he turned up, he weighed in and he had to take his underwear off, and then he wanted a towel, a certain type of towel, like a bigger towel, and then the team just went to get the towel, and it's like 10 minutes later they come back with a towel, and then he had like 12 minutes to lose an ounce. And then he kind of sat on his phone for the first 5 minutes, and they went, "Are you going to do anything?" He was like, "Oh, yeah," and then went off. But by that time, probably could do 2 minutes of work. And really, if he would have just gone and done it, he would have made it. But it's not my problem. It's not my team. If it was my fighter, I'd be saying to him, "Let's go. Boom, we're done. Over." Do you know what I mean? But it's very tough for fighters to make weight. I mean, you know, not taking away from everything that Chris does is for a reason. Some people see through it, some people don't. But the process that he goes through is extremely tough. Do you know what I mean? And some normal people, maybe like me, I don't know, you, but I don't think I could do it. But that's what they do, that's their job. And he's a 160 fighter. You know, if he was a 168 fighter making middleweight for the first time, I understand, but he's not. He makes it every time. And he's the world champion at that weight. Therefore, he missed weight.
Have you heard from Ben Shalom? I hear he's not happy today. He's not happy, man.
Moaning about the gloves, moaning about everything. I mean, I don't know. You know, look, Ben, I was green when I started, like Ben. It's not a criticism, but he's like flapping about, and they're just not happy with this, not happy with that, and, you know, I don't know.
Is this a better thing for have happened to Conor now? Because Chris can only go up to 170. Conor's going to be around, I heard you say, 162 or 164. Is this what's happened today more of an advantage to Conor, you feel?
Well, I mean, yes, because it's a little bit embarrassing. It's a little bit humiliating in terms of everything that he's said. Obviously, physically, it is tough, but we knew it was going to be tough. You saw him a couple of months ago make 160 in Saudi. You knew it, you know, you could see it was tough then as well. But yeah, I think it's just lifted the spirits of Conor Benn. and it's probably put a bit of downer on Chris Eubank. But the fight's not till tomorrow night. Like, if they were fighting tonight, maybe it's... But look, and you know, when you talk about the rehydration, Conor Benn will come into the ring at 162. Eubank will come into the ring at 176. Conor's giving up a stone in the ring. It's a lot of weight. It's a big disadvantage. No one really cares. You know, someone says to me, are you concerned about Chris Eubank Jr.? I said, are you concerned about Conor Benn? Not really, are you? Do you know what I mean? So let's just get on with it.
Just want to touch on Nigel Benn at the press conference. He was great. He gave a little speech of all the sparring that he did. One in particular, obviously, William School, who's fighting Canelo next week. What did you make of the whole sparring stories? Conor's clearly in good shape, which is exciting for him, but to be knocking people out... I mean, School's fighting Canelo next week.
One was knocked out, but he...
Sorry, made him quit. I apologise.
Against much bigger men who are world champions. So for Nigel, I mean, look, sometimes spars should generally be kept behind closed doors, but Nigel's his dad, and he's proud as punch, and he was watching it going, bashing up Skull, bashing up Saras, sparring well with Bentley, wah, and he just wants to tell the world. So sparring, it's not irrelevant, but we'll see if it's relevant tomorrow night.
And just one more. I asked you about Shakur a couple of days ago, and people were asking me about Lou DiBella. And is that you told me that it was all fake news? He's been retweeting Shakur's posts, and Shakur said he was a free agent after the fight. Could you just clear up? Is Lou DiBella his promoter for the next fight? Is this everything fake?
I have a 2-fight deal with Turk Al Sheikh.
Does that include the next fight?
Hader, yes. There's 2 fights, so we've done one, so you can do the maths for the last one, and then after that we'll see what happens. I don't know. Beyond that, I would like to represent him for a long time, but we're meeting up next week in New York, and that's it.
You haven't heard of conversation with Shakur and Lou DiBella?
I've spoke to Lou DiBella myself.
Saying what were the...
You know, we got a 2-fight deal with Shakur, and he said, yeah, absolutely. That's it.
Do you think he's interested in signing Shakur after that?
Who?
Lou DiBella?
I don't know. I mean, you know, I will have to come up with something for Shakur Stevenson. If I don't, that may be the end. It's got to work for me as well as Shakur. Maybe I haven't got anything for him. Maybe he hasn't got anything for me. But right now, I know what we agreed with His Excellency, and that's what we'll do for now, and then see where we go.
I know you said you wanted to make that Tank fight, so hopefully we can see that in the future. Eddie?
Jake Paul, isn't he? So he's got. I don't know whether he'll fight. What's the rematch?
Lamont Roach.
I don't know if he'll still fight Lamont Roach. I know he's fighting Jake Paul in November, and then maybe Shakur after that.
Thank you, Eddie. Thanks.